Hey everyone, welcome back. It is Tuesday. It is time for another wrestling review. I am so happy that we're actually able to get this review out to you. If you watched our last episode about Marigold Summer Destiny, at the end of the video, you will hear our struggles of how hard we had to find this show. I watched the AJ match because that was widely available on YouTube, but everything else was so hard to find. Eventually, I did find somewhere to watch it, shared it with Campo, so he was able to watch it as well. But like even the links for a day or two weren't working.
Yeah, there it was impossible.
Yeah. So, but we got it. We have it out for you. And the review for Noah Destination 2024 is here for you now. Once again, we have Campo Reviews, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, everything in between. You got me, Johnny Donuts, your host of this show. I got a few things planned upcoming in the future, so stay tuned for that. But that is a story for another day. Campo doesn't know about this yet. I'm going to talk to him about the show. So we're going to talk. We're going to start with our pre-show. This was All Rebellion, which is Alejandro's new group with Cristobal against Ninja Mac and Miyawaki against O'Hara and Super Crazy, a three-way tag team match. The fact that it was three men in the ring at the same time made it more interesting.
And you know how I feel about just generally these pre-show matches, and like it's Ninja Mac is better than the pre-show.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm liking heel Ninja Mac though.
But this match was pretty good. I liked
This
it.
was fire. This was like, as the
Super
kids would
Crazy
say,
wasn't botch heavy.
no.
Alejandro
O'Hara
was really solid.
Miyawaki is not, I wouldn't say a legendary, but he's a well-known junior heavyweight too.
Yeah.
And
This was pretty good.
yeah, it was a great way. It was just long enough too. It didn't, but
I'm a fan.
yeah, I love it. More Alejandro, more Ninja Mac. You know that. That's we need that on a shirt. With that second pre-show match, it's Masakita Miya, our boy Soya, Manabu Soya, and Daiki Inaba against our boy Sugo and members of Real, Fujita, and Taniguchi. This is Soya's first match back in almost, what, 6 months, 7 months? We haven't seen Soya in a while.
Soy boy.
Yeah.
I once again
Yeah.
pretty solid match.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting
Yeah.
greatness,
This
but it's
was your
hard
meat. This was your meat match. It was
when
all
yeah
meaty boys in the ring.
when you got a bit of Sugo going on, I'm always happy.
Yeah. And he is your GHC tag team champion, even though his partner was facing someone else in later on in the show.
The problem I'm still having with Noah is the ownership of belts is absolutely irrelevant. Like
Irrelevant?
you win a belt just to lose it immediately.
Yeah. Well, they're still champs. They just haven't defended it yet
I know,
because
but
they're
it's
all
like how
having.
many defenses? Zero. First defense,
Yeah.
they lose the belt. That's every single belt.
Yeah. And I noticed that later with another belt in this show. Um, the only one that's had a good run with it is Daga,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about that later. Um, Soya wins. The push for Soya is beginning. It's something we'll see later on in the show.
Hmm.
So Soya is the next one being pushed. So with that, we're going to our final pre-show match, which is Shuji Kondo, Eita, and Akira against Yoshinari Ogawa, Roihei Oiwa, and Yu Owada. So the one you always get confused is Eita and Owada. I
No,
think. No,
it's
Ogawa.
Eita and Ogawa.
Yes.
They look nothing
Former,
alike.
no,
But
former partners.
yeah, but I like them as a tag team. I'm
Yeah.
upset that they broke up. Ogawa is like old Japanese Batman.
Akira is even older.
But by the way, they when the two of them were in the ring together was
It was
fucking fabulous.
fantastic. Like you have two guys that are combined age of 115.
And it was really good. Like
Like
really good.
I was surprised at
The
how
pace
well
that they
Akira was
move,
moving.
Akira did the kip up, the
Hmm.
one-handed cartwheel thing. I was like,
Yes.
what the fuck is
Who do you
happening?
think you are? Cisco in the thong song?
Oh my God, dude. This is a surprisingly good match, mostly because two really old guys were amazing.
They stole the show in this match.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you had your super fast-paced first match pre-show, you had your meat match second match pre-show, and you had your Legends showcase in your third match pre-show.
And you had Oiwa, and that's
And
always cute.
that's always he's got the long hair now.
I really like Eita. I'm a huge
Yeah.
fan.
And you can see this is the Eita push. They're starting to push Eita now.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I think they were a bit hesitant because they were debating on what they're gonna do with Dante Leon.
But it doesn't look like he's coming back anytime
Yeah,
soon.
so I think that it's now they're just gonna go all in with him.
But yeah. And Eita gets the win on Ogawa.
Yeah.
So
And it looks
with
like they're moving Hayata up divisions, so he's out
yes.
of like the junior division.
hmm Yes. So with that, we are going to our first match of the show proper. We got Keno against New Japan legend Yuji Nagata. Well, I mean, just Japanese legend in general.
Yeah, actually surprisingly enjoyable match again. There was all those stuff on the outside was really hard hitting. I thought Nagata got hurt.
This was like a sensei and his senpai type of match, I would feel. Even though Keno's like 40 years old and Nagata's like 55.
I'm not sure what they're doing with Keno because like he kind of has a crew, but he doesn't.
It's a holding pattern. I've noticed that Noah does that a lot. When your guy is your champion, everybody else who's in the main event picture just goes in a holding pattern. And then eventually they'll come back, as we
Yeah,
saw it with Kiyomiya.
yeah, and I mean it's fine. I
Because
think
remember, he was champ. Keno was champ not that long ago, and it just came out of nowhere. He beat Dr. Wagner Jr.
yeah. No, he lost to Dr. Wagner Jr., didn't he?
Right. He lost to Dr. It was
Yeah,
Kiyomiya that beat Dr.
that
Wagner
beat
Jr.
Dr. Wagner
There you
Jr.
go. Irrelevant title change.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I like Keno, and I think maybe there's something to be said because they're kind of the story builds with GLG as we go throughout this. I think
Yeah.
maybe the yo hey hey yo yo little group that's kind
hmm
of forming, they make Keno the leader of that group because he's blonde.
That could be a possibility. But in the end, Keno does win. Little show of respect at the end
It's a
too.
putover, and it's
Yeah.
good. It's a smart one. I like it.
Yeah. It keeps Keno looking strong. Yuji Nagata, the loss is not going to affect him.
Not at all.
Right. So with that, second match of the night is the disillusion match of GLG, Jake Lee, Yohei Yo, and Tadasuke against Jack Morris, Anthony Green, and LJ Cleary. Now, here's an interesting fact. I'll talk about one of them later, but out of the other group of three guys, Jack Morris is the only one signed to Noah. The other two are freelance.
I think that's a lot of what's happening right now. Contracts are expiring,
Yeah,
and Jake Lee leaves. We're just gonna spoil it. Jake Lee's
yeah.
going to New Japan.
He is signed officially. Jake Lee is signed to New Japan right now.
And that's huge. After all the
He's just
losses
on
they
loan.
took,
He's just on
yeah.
loan.
After
Yeah.
all the losses they've taken in the last year,
They
getting Jake
needed a
Lee
name
is absolutely massive.
because they lost out on the what's his name? Nakajima sweepstakes.
Yeah. And the good thing is too that he's actually a very large
He's
wrestler.
yeah.
So it gives them like someone imposing to be a
Like
heel.
was it in right the first match of the G1, which was the day of this recording? Jake Lee just absolutely obliterated. I think it was Suji.
I think we're gonna see, which I didn't watch it yet, but yeah, I'm excited to watch. I heard it was very good day one.
Yeah,
Um,
but
I think Bullet Club is gonna go into a feud with LIJ, and Jake Lee is gonna
yeah,
demolish Naito.
I think so. Now let's get this out of the way right now because this year's G1 is a lot smaller. We're not doing the weekly G1 reviews like we used to
Yeah,
do
we'll
the
just
last.
recap it.
We'll just recap it at the end. So don't look for the G1 uh catch-up shows during the week. It'll just be a final review of the
Also, they did they announce the N one yet? Have we passed that
yeah.
point?
No, we haven't passed that, but they do
Okay.
announce the N1.
Yeah.
But Jake Lee in the end gets the win.
hmm
He pins was it he pinned? Did he pin Cleary?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. He pins Cleary, I believe, and then we get Gato coming out to the ring. Hands Jake Lee a t-shirt. Jake Lee is officially New Japan. Jake Lee is officially Bullet Club War Dogs. This is going to lead to a power struggle match, I think, between Finley and Jake.
Somewhere down the line. I don't think it happens
Yeah.
right away.
No, I'm just saying this is going to lead
Yeah.
to it. Jake Lee is going to have so much success in New Japan. They're going to fast track Jake Lee.
It fits
I
though.
think if he is officially New Japan, like which we know he is, Jake Lee's winning the G1 this year.
It's possible. Yeah, it's very possible. And I think the the story works here because if you
Mm-hmm.
look at the past, Takahashi and also Kenta, they
Mm-hmm.
were outsiders who came in. That's why they were part of Bullet Club because they were outsiders from Noah and whatever, and they came
Yeah.
in and that's why they're in Bullet Club, not because you don't have to be a white guy to be in Bullet Club,
No.
right? It's just outsiders. It's the group of like
Yeah,
outsiders. So, and I think,
it's
hey,
literally the NWO rehashed,
yeah,
but the difference is they're keeping it fresh. They're bringing in new people, cycling out some of the
yeah,
old guard.
they're surely not as relevant as they were, but
No,
they haven't reached the point of being boring yet.
they almost got to it.
Right before the Jay White switched over to
Hmm. Yeah, the
David Finley.
Cody versus Omega. Like, even though as great as that was, there was just too like Adam Cole, Hangman Page. They were all part of it, and like it didn't make sense for all of them to be.
Jay White brought it back to life. And then
Mhm.
towards the end, the Jay White versus Okada stuff was started to get really
Yeah,
boring. And the day switching to David Finley and the War Dogs kind of revitalized it
yeah.
again. So
So they're keeping it fresh. But yeah, Jake Lee turns on everybody in his group. Um, I think Yohei and Tadasuke, they're gonna form their own little tag
they
team, go
already
there.
do later. They walk off, they help somebody else out.
Yeah,
Which I see a little group forming there. But I think the best thing they could do is have have Keno also join that group.
yeah.
Or have Keno become the leader of GLG, make a new GLG or
GLG.
something. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But we'll go into our next match. Akitoshi Saito defending the 0-1 World Heavyweight Championship against Go Shiozaki, even though this is the AWA Heavyweight Championship. Have you
Which
noticed
that's
that?
so awesome. By the way,
It's the
they
original belt too.
it
Like
is.
we're yeah,
The belts for 01 wrestling are the
AW.
AWA championship,
Hmm.
a random belt that belongs to them,
Hmm.
then the NWA junior heavy tag team belts
Yeah.
from back in the days, and also the NWA international middleweight belt or
Yes.
something. So that three of their four belts
Are
are
from different
some
companies.
different companies. But that's because there was a period of time
Well,
when
they were in conjunction with the AWA for a
with
while in the
AWA
early
Superstars, which was
yes, in
like
the early 2000s.
yeah, which was like them trying to revitalize AWA by bringing back legends to wrestle.
Hmm.
But what happened was as they dissolved, they 01 had ownership of the belts.
Yeah.
So, and that happens a lot. If you watch history of Japanese and Mexican wrestling,
Hmm.
there's a lot of belts in random Japanese and Mexican companies that are like the NWA belt from like 1930
Yeah.
because they dissolved the company that was in
And they
charge of
have
it, and now
ownership of the
they
belt.
owned the belt.
Well, I mean, a perfect example. You see it with the WWE. Technically, WWE owns the big gold belt.
Well, they bought WCW.
Right. But they, when they bought WCW, they bought ownership of that belt.
Yes, but like 01 didn't buy AWA when the AWA just dissolved and
They just had
they
ownership.
liquidated, they had possession of the belt.
So it's
So now it's
theirs.
just their belt.
It's just so awesome.
There's multiple NWA belts, original
Hmm.
NWA belts that exist within Mexico and Japan right now
The
that are
10
in
pounds of
small
gold. Yeah.
promotion where NWA, I think Billy Corgan wants to get those belts back in
Yeah.
possession for NWA, but can't because they technically don't have the rights to them anymore.
No. He can create belts that are similar to them, which
Yeah,
he's done. Like the was it the the North American
North
champion or the
American
yeah,
Championship.
yeah. The national championship.
National, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
red
The
belt with
red
the
belt.
yeah, the US Tag Team Championship, which he brought back. It's a very similar design as well.
Yeah. It's like it is what it is, right? Because the NWA was never an actual body. It was a governing body of wrestle.
Professional wrestling, yeah.
They put on shows. They weren't an actual promotion.
Yeah. And they had it was basically a bunch of freelancers. It did not become a
Yeah, they didn't NWA
corporation
didn't
until
actually have any wrestlers
yeah.
until Billy Corrigan is when it became like its
Yeah.
own company.
WWE was the first company
Yeah.
to do that. And they
Like
started.
the big gold belt, all that stuff is because JCP,
Hmm.
Jim Crockett Productions,
Didn't have the rights to the 10 pounds of gold.
and they were using NWA was like the governing body of
Yeah.
JCP. And then
Yeah.
they became
They were like a sub
WCW.
faction. There was Georgia
Exactly.
Championship Wrestling. There was Jim Crockett
Yeah. There were
Promotions. There
so
was
many.
the USWA. There was like Smoky
Yeah. We won't
Mountain.
get too deep into that, but
No.
you can look it
Yeah.
up on YouTube.
Yeah. But
Anyways, this is awesome.
yes,
They have
this
the
match was
AWA belt, and then we
yes.
got a really cool match where a legend put over a guy, and Go Shiozaki is now technically AWA champion and
Yes.
also 01 champion. And I
At
think
the same time,
to have that little like tick on your career, to have had possession of the AWA belt as a champion, to me,
yeah,
that's
it
huge.
solidifies Shizaki's career.
Like you won one of the most major championships that ever existed in the history
A
of wrestling.
prestigious historic belt.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Like
And
this is
also,
a belt that like Gagne held and like Jesse Ventura held
yeah,
and like
Hogan had it.
yeah,
Rick Martel, unfortunately.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, let's not knock Rick
hey,
Martel.
Rick Martel's a good Canadian boy.
Rick Martel WWE with his arrogance.
He was great in AWA actually.
Yeah,
He was
was.
supposed to be the next big thing for them, and that's when they went out of business.
Yeah. You had like I mean you had Hall and Kurt
The
Hennig as tag team champs, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
belt that Rick Rude held.
That's where isn't that where Sting and Warrior started
Yeah.
too?
The yeah.
The Dingo Warriors.
The Dingo Warriors, yeah.
Anyway, anywho,
Yes. Back
Vern
to the
Gagne
match.
ran that into the ground by being champion for like 7,000
Hmm.
days. But there's also a retirement match, so
Saito.
it's a little bit sad
Yes, which
because we're not gonna get
they didn't really play that up though.
we're not gonna get like random early matches between Muhammad Yone and
And
Saito.
Saito,
But
they may trot him out every now and
he's
then.
older and like good for him. I can't
You
believe
could
he put
you
on this match.
yeah, you could see he knew this was going to be his final match. I mean, he's only what
Buddy, it was a banger. This was
he's
a
50, he's the
banger.
same age as I think Akira, 58.
Yo, just but honest to
But you could
God,
see he's broken.
he really went all out here. He
Yeah.
knew this was the end and was like,
He go
"Fuck this." We've
I'm
seen
gonna
the we've seen the retirement matches of some absolute legends in our time now doing
yes, in
this.
just 3 years. Exactly. But like you said, this was an absolutely fantastic, better than it had any right to be. And
Minoru
like you
Suzuki, who never retired in the end,
yeah,
um,
who still wrestles.
still wrestles all the time.
But I think this is it for Saito. No more opening matches with Mohamed Yone and the funky crew there.
It's sad too
Because Yone
because
was on commentary for this show on the
yeah,
Japanese.
yeah, and Saito was he was a big part of why they made Team Noah.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
wonder if he sticks around just to be or in
Like their
that.
manager or
Yeah.
something, like
But
their
like,
version of Paul
hey
Heyman,
man,
maybe.
good fucking match.
Yeah. And you could see the emotion in Shiozaki when he wins. Like this meant a lot to him.
Buddy, those chops he was laying down on him, I was
He
like,
was
you're gonna kill this
bleeding.
old man.
He was bleeding in the chest from those chops. That's how hurt he was. And the Saito probably just said, "Just do it, man. I don't care. Like let's put on a hell of a show."
Hey, good. This
Yeah.
could have been a main event.
Yeah. On any other show, this probably would have been a main event on a lower, like on a Sunny Voyage or something.
Yeah.
But with that, we are going Hayata defending the national championship against Sasaki, Ulka Sasaki.
I'm don't I'm don't S- oh,
You think Hayata's moving up?
I do because he's already moved from the junior division to this division, which is like
But
the
he
middle
held this
ground.
belt for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, something like that. But I maybe he'll stay here for now, but I think the plan is he's not going to be a junior anymore. They want him to I think he's going to end up beating Kiyomiya for the world title.
You really think they're
They're
gonna
trying to
push
use
Hayata that hard?
they're trying to stop using the Sugos and Kenos and Goes
Because
and
Hayata's a great
Marufujis.
performer. He's what?
They want to
He's
get
a little
young guys
older.
into
Yeah,
who do
but
they
he's like
have?
he's 36.
Who do they have to wrestle in the world title picture except for Kiyomiya that's young?
You're right. And Hayata, same age as probably Jake Lee. They're in that same
Yeah,
age
because now
range.
you don't have Jake Lee, right? That's my whole
Yeah,
logic there. Unless
yeah.
you're, I mean, there's a good argument you can make for moving up Jack Morris
Hmm.
or the other
Jack
guy.
Morris is going to have a strong showing in the N1.
What's the other guy's name?
Anthony Green from that group.
Anthony Green has some potential to move up. I would have said like Thatcher, but like I don't know what the hell happened to
He's
him.
hurt.
Still,
Yeah, yeah. Thatcher's still hurt.
but I don't dislike Sasaki. Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Ulka Sasaki. But the push has been too fast for him, I
It's way
think.
too fast. He's not that good. He's fine. Like he just started wrestling this year.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
really wrestling.
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think this is where they announced the after this match. After this match is where they announced the N1 tournament.
Anyways, fucking Hayata loses, and I was like
Hmm.
shocked that they
Yeah,
did that.
I didn't think they would push him this hard this fast,
Yeah,
Sasaki.
I
But like you
absolutely
said,
caught me off
this
guard.
this is probably also going into damage control.
It has to be, right? They're trying to correct course.
because Hayata's not even in the N1. So my theory, like you said, kind of agree with your theory, is that Hayata's going to beat Kiyomiya and he's going to face whoever wins the N because Kiyomiya is in the N1.
Yeah. Maybe Kiyomiya wins the N1 and he challenges Hayata.
That I'll take, and then he loses.
But I mean, Kiyomiya's also gone, he's got too much too fast.
Yes, he's already a three-time champion.
Yeah. If I was them, I'd find a way to link Oiwa back to him as like a friend, a buddy, and then break
Hmm.
them apart and have them have a feud for the over the belt before they lose him back to New Japan.
Yeah, because Oiwa should be done soon, right? His
Yeah.
excursion.
He's got to
Like you
be
could see he's already growing the hair out. He's not wearing
he's
the
starting to
black.
change his look. He's starting to
Yeah,
become a character.
he's even slimmed down a bit.
Yeah.
Like Oiwa was a little bit heftier, and now he's
Yeah.
like I almost didn't recognize him in the show.
Well, great Suzuki wins this match.
Yeah. So we'll quickly go through the N1. They announced all the
Two
N1.
NXT wrestlers.
Yes. One I know, one I didn't even know.
Never heard of either of them.
So Kiyomiya, Block A, you got Kiyomiya, Go Shiozaki, Masa Kitamiya, Roihei Oiwa. So Oiwa versus Kiyomiya is going to be like Jack Morris, Dragon Bane, Luis Mante from Dragon Gate, and Josh Briggs. Josh Briggs, you do know who that is. He was NXT Tag Team Champion for a while. Those Cowboy guys with
Oh yeah,
Fallon
that's
Henley.
yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, they were doing that stupid love triangle angle
Yeah, I
with
remember. Yeah, okay.
What was her name? The one who looks like a porn star there with the glasses
Yeah,
and
James Vanderbeek.
yeah. And then in Block B, you have Keno, Soya Boy, Sasaki, Yoichi, Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., the other member of Los Golpeadores and Alpha Wolf, Titus Alexander, who, if you don't know who Titus Alexander is, watch out for this guy. This guy is a new star on the independent scene. I see big things for Alexander. And no quarter catch crew member, Tavion Heights. He's the guy who replaced Damon Kemp with what's his name? Nathan Dempsey there.
Ah,
Regal's, yeah, he's part of that group, which as of this recording, they had a
they showed
match.
up at Slammiversary.
They had a match at
Yeah,
Slammiversary
yeah.
against the reunited Rascals,
The
all three of them.
Rascals.
The
The Rascals,
Rascals,
who used to be three other people, but now one guy doesn't work there anymore, and they've replaced him with another guy that used to be there.
yes, who was also replaced by a guy who was in TNA, went back to WWE and back to
Yeah,
TNA.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
replacements.
Yes, a lot of back and forth. It's almost as much replacements as there were in the Acolyte. Go watch
Mhm.
that review. But that's your N1. Yeah, I mean, the one that makes the most sense here is Kiyomiya. They're not going to do 3 years in a row for Shiozaki
Yeah, I don't know.
or Keno. Like those are really the only two I could see winning this.
Unless they somehow let Oiwa win.
Or Soya.
It could be Soya, actually, because I think they want Soya to win the championship.
Yeah.
Soya, okay. Okay, well, hold on. Let's continue talking about this pay-per-view.
Okay. Let's continue to the next match. The next match we have is Asuka facing off against Daga for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Great match.
And we started off on watching Noah, and I
Hmm.
was a huge Asuka guy. And then I slowly started, after he came back from his injury, he's been super sloppy.
Hmm.
But this match
He
was
tightened
like,
it up.
Daga's really good.
Yeah,
Do you think he gets training from his wife?
probably. I wouldn't
What's
be
her name?
surprised. They're not
Blanchard? Tessa
they're not married
Blanchard?
anymore, but
Oh, they're not married anymore.
no, Tessa Blanchard. Maybe he got training from her dad, Tully Blanchard.
That's true. Tully Blanchard Incorporated.
Yes. But no, Daga is like fantastic. Is he still signed to Noah or because I know there's talks in uh
I
other
don't know.
organizations.
The wrestling landscape is getting really scary,
Yeah,
where it's like WWE and AEW are literally buying any free agent that hits the market and then don't use them, and it's
yeah.
you're taking away from all the other companies.
But I think Daga still but Asuka never lost the belt really because he got
He
injured.
got injured.
He had to vacate the
But
belt.
Daga
And
had a really good run.
yes, and this This is a title change tonight that I didn't mind. This was a good title change.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And it
So
was a good match.
yeah, it was your typical, like you had outside shenanigans, you had everything in
Hmm.
this match. But on top of that, you had your classic cruiserweight match.
And Noah, I find the Noah Junior division is more ECW-ish,
Hmm.
right? Where it's like the Noah or the sorry, the New Japan Junior
It's
Heavyweight
more high
division is
flying,
it's
quick moves.
ECW-ish. I'm sorry, it's WCW-ish.
Yeah,
And it's like you like it's a little bit different. This the tweaks. Like it's more hardcore to when Noah's the guys who
yeah.
do it in Noah.
Which I don't mind.
No,
This
I don't
was
mind at all. They have I haven't seen the hardcore belt. Huh?
no. When are they gonna? And we didn't even get to see Ninja Mac lose it.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, guys, come on.
Come on.
So with that, we got our newest tag team, La Dinastía Wagner, which is El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., and Galeno del Mal, which literally translates to evil doctor.
Yeah, it translates to the funky chicken.
The funky chicken. Galena,
Uh,
yes. Galeno
buddy,
then.
buddy,
Against Los
this
Golpeadores.
this fucking match was mental.
Off the chain.
This is one of the best tag matches I
They
watched
are
all year.
legit brothers.
But yeah, it's
And
actually
here's a
his
little
younger
fun
brother.
fact. Here is a little fun fact for you. Dr. Wagner Jr., their father, is actually the brother of the Silver King who played Ramses in Nacho Libre.
Oh my gosh. See this? See how it's all coming together?
Thank you, Timmy, for that little bit of information.
But yeah, what an excellent match.
Yeah.
This is one of the rare moments where a lucha match had no botches. Like it was so
This
smooth.
was the best AAA match that was not in AAA.
Yeah, this is like CMLL smoke crack.
Yeah.
There's one spot which I have a recording of it.
Yeah.
I always kept forgetting to share it, but it's like they do a spot in the ring and then they throw the Wagner's brother over to the other side, and then there's a just like a flip. Oh, it's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. I don't even
It's
know how to explain.
insane.
And he goes over the railing and lands on the table accidentally.
Yes. It was great though. And he no sells it too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
So
This
just
was I would even consider this maybe one of the best tag team matches of the year. Should we put
what
that
belt was
down
this
for?
for?
This was not for a belt. This was
Oh,
just our loot.
it wasn't for that those random tag belts
No,
that they had.
no.
Because it's weird. We've seen Noah have multiple matches, including on this show, actually,
For
where
random
they wrestle
belts.
for another company's belts.
Yeah, we've seen the DDT.
The DDT one, and then there was a match for a Mexican company's tag
Yeah,
belts. Remember when the other what are they called? Los Copiadores
yeah,
had
they
those
had those
other companies'
Mexican belts.
belts.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this match was probably my favorite match of the show.
Yeah,
I, and Go Shiozaki. It's a
I
tight.
mean, there's this is a really strong show. Like, just be
Yeah,
expecting. Do not be shocked at my rating at the end.
yeah. This was fantastic. So with that, we'll go. Well, I mean, let's talk about this. The Dinastia Wagner do win. This is, I think, the Golpeador only second loss in the company.
Hmm.
But I think they are going to be moving up to the heavyweight tag belt division. They'll probably face Shiozaki and
They're gonna win,
yeah, I
and
think
then they'll
so.
go into a feud for the belts with the Wagners.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'd like that very much. And the Wagners do win, so it'll all come together when the
Oh.
Golpeadores win the
The
belts.
most Mexican name you ever heard,
Los
Wagner.
Golpeadores. Yes.
The Wagners.
No,
Beat the Wagners.
I mean Dr. Wagner. I mean Dr. Wagner
Are
makes
they
like
the juniors technically?
yeah,
Uh,
well, he's the son of
anyways,
the junior.
son of the junior.
So we'll go into our next match. This I would consider a dream match. Naomichi Marufuji against AJ Styles.
Do we want to talk about this?
This is what I remember AJ Styles in New Japan, not WWE AJ Styles. This match literally had everything. You had hard hitting, you had crazy submissions, you had outside brawling. Like literally, this match had
I
everything.
I'm not gonna sit here at this point and call either one of them old, especially when you consider how old Japanese wrestlers get and still are pretty good.
Okay, so I can give you their ages right off the bat. You got Marufuji, born in
45.
1979. He's 44.
I
He's
was
turning
close.
45 this year. AJ Styles, you're going to be shocked at this.
47.
He is, yep, only a month older than me.
I never looked, by the way.
June 77. and I'm July 1977. Hence the Johnny Donuts 7-7. See, makes sense.
Because
But yeah, AJ Styles is 47. He
it's
looks, pun intended, he looks phenomenal.
yeah, he's in really good shape since he came back from his injury.
Yeah,
Um, but like Marufuji gets often thought of as being much older than he really is when
yeah.
he's still like he's just now reaching
At
the
his
outside of
peak.
his prime.
Yeah,
He's just
he's
slightly
at
outside of his
he's
prime
on the
now.
he is on I would say on the he's at the peak. He's on his way down now.
He's on the descent of from the
Yeah.
peak. But like
Be,
I would say really,
because
really good
Nakajima is
wrestlers.
younger. Nakajima's like
Yeah,
34 or
yeah.
35 or something like that.
Wrestlers of his caliber, right? Your Goes and him and like
Hmm.
Okada, those guys, their peak is from like 33, 34 until they're
About
like
40, 40.
43.
Yeah.
And like you get those are like their 10 years of crazy. And then
Yeah.
they're usually good until 50. And then it starts to slow down a lot.
Like you got Tanahashi, who's also 47. Look at the difference between
But
Tanahashi.
Tanahashi's because of his knees.
Yes.
He suffered like look at Keiji Muto. He was
Hmm.
actually still very good into his 50s. Like still a
He
very
was
good
ready to
wrestler.
do a moonsault at 60 when they stopped him.
Yeah, like that's my point, right? Like he could still put on a match. He just
Yeah.
like I'm sure Chono would love to be in the ring.
Yeah. They kind of got him in the ring for that.
That was one of my favorite moments
Yeah.
ever in wrestling history.
Yeah.
Um, but you're it's like Kenny, like these guys.
Hmm.
Anyways, this match, you watch this match and it's like for a second you don't appreciate how good the Will Ospreay versus Marufuji match is, and then you
Hmm.
watch this and you're like, wait, that match was so good. That was not that long ago. Then you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what about the match against Ibushi? That was a fucking banger too.
Hmm.
Marufuji does nothing but put on the top highest tier of matches,
Yeah.
and I desperately just need to see Marufuji versus Kenny Omega. Like I desperately, desperately need to see this match.
I don't know if
And
that'll happen because AEW and Noah are not on good terms right now.
they just need to figure it out. Kenny needs to be like, I want to do this, and Tony has to be like, yes, you're God. I'll do whatever you
I'll
want me
do
to
whatever
do.
you say.
Because that's what I need to see.
Yeah, if there's one match I need to see, it's Omega versus Marufuji,
I wouldn't mind Will Ospreay versus Jake Lee.
which could probably happen.
I would like Jay White versus Jake Lee, actually. Get the
Mm.
Bang Bang Gang into a feud with the
With
Bullet
the
Club.
Bullet Club.
Because you got four guys now in Bang Bang Gang. That's not bad. Find a random fifth guy for them to be there, and you
Hmm.
have pretty even odds.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
Maybe it's El Fantasmo, and maybe
Yeah,
Jotto
because
backs him.
have you seen ELP lately? His posts, like
He's really
he's
depressing.
yeah, he's quiet.
Yeah,
He's still under contract though, right?
I think so. But listen, if you did that right, then he even if he's with AEW where he wants to go, he could
Hmm.
still work with them. You make
Yeah.
ELP the fifth member of that crew.
Hmm.
Then you make their guy who backs them be Jotto. So it's once again now it's Jotto versus Gato
Versus
again,
Gato.
and not Dick to go.
Not no, no, no.
Anyways,
He is still signed to New Japan. The only member left of GOD
mhm. Well,
because
Jotto's still there technically.
yeah.
Um, I'm I'm upset with the outcome of this match. I don't
Yes.
think AJ Styles should have won the match,
No.
especially since he's the older guy on the way out. And I mean, they're both like Hall of Fame careers, but there's rumors
Yes.
that they did that because they want to have Marufuji show up at like a big WWE
Well, we
show.
talked about it in the last show
Yeah,
where
where he's doing.
Marufuji is going to be doing the announcing for Bima for SummerSlam. He's going to
Yeah.
be their commentators.
So there could be him showing up at like Survivor Series or something and having a banger match where he beats
AJ?
AJ on like WWE TV. Maybe you save it for Mania because he's a big name. He'll get a lot of Japanese viewers to watch.
Yeah. If you
Um,
really want to grow your audience and have WrestleMania really take off in Japan, put Marufuji on WrestleMania.
oh, for sure. For sure.
Especially because you aired on Abima already.
But excellent, excellent. Every match
Yeah.
Marufuji has been in the last year has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I
No pun
think
intended.
yeah, I think it's going to be hard picking our wrestler of the year this year.
We might have to introduce a new category of like legend wrestler of the year,
Or North American, Japanese categories.
old guy of the year, not old guy of the year.
Okay. But you're
We'll
right.
figure it out.
We'll figure it out. AJ Styles does get the win I wouldn't be surprised if they, like you said, have him come back for a big event, have him enter the Rumble,
Yeah, that would be cool.
have him enter
Have
the Rumble,
have him and like go Shiozaki into the Rumble to cement their careers and Keno. Listen, if you could find a way to weasel those three guys in and let them have
just to
their
have him in
Royal
the
Rumble
Rumble.
moment,
Yeah,
because I think their careers are already solidified as probably going to go down as legends. So
yes,
to
Noah
have
legends
them,
for sure, Japanese legends in the making.
yeah,
I would like to see that. Like you want to really like, and you're going to get some Marigold stars. It like you're probably going to get Haya Shishida in the women's Rumble.
that would be wonderful.
Like
I just want to see Stephanie Vacour, Hayashi Shida, and Julia throw down.
in the Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah,
Just them be the only three in the ring and just look at each other and be like, "Oh, it's a fucking on."
let's go. And then the
But then
next one,
Jade Cargill will win, which nobody
and
gives
then
a
the
yeah,
next one in the ring will be Io Sky.
yeah, that was and Oscar.
Oh, jeez. Asuka, her career may be done, they say.
Yeah, she's had far too many injuries.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to say she's old because she's what, 44, 45, but in
Hmm.
terms of women's wrestling, that's a little
Yeah. So at this point, I was like, "Oh, this pay-per-view's got to be over, right?"
nope. With that,
Gotta,
you get your main event. Kaito Kiyomiya defending against Yoichi.
bro,
Yoichi is
was the S&M
Inamura.
guy,
Yes, Inamura. He was the guy with the mohawk. He looked like something out of Streets of Rage.
buddy. He's fucking amazing.
Yeah, they never let him shine when he was part of that group.
Bro, he's so good.
You know
He's
what's
getting a
funny?
push.
He was with Soya and our boy Sugo in the same group.
Yeah.
And when we first started watching Noah, we didn't care for them. Now they're three of our favorites.
Sugo's definitely my favorite. But yeah, Soya's up there. Soya's getting a nice push.
Yeah.
Maybe he could win a title because I don't know if he's ever won the world title.
No, he has not, I don't believe.
And but yeah, what's this guy's name? Yoichi?
Yoichi, yeah.
Bro, he's really good. Like
Yeah. He was
he
just never
slimmed
able.
down. He
Yep.
looks much better in much better shape.
He's gonna have a strong showing in the N1 too. Because he's in the same group as Keno,
I
Iho the Dr. Wagner,
I feel like
Soya.
he's gonna turn around the next big heel faction. He's gonna become the leader of like he has that look of like I'm just
Hmm.
a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna destroy all of you.
Like what this match was really good. Like
Yeah.
this is we had like three potential match of the
Match of the year
year
candidates
candidates on
back to
one
back,
show. And
almost back to back
a tag of the
of the
you know
year.
the Dogga match was
It was a
fucking
good
good
show
too.
too.
This is a
Like,
good pay-per-view.
and the fact that there was what, five, 4 or 5 championship matches on the show.
Mhm.
Like, when you start off with a solid pre-show like that and keep it going for the entire, there was not a single bad match on the show.
And they're really starting to understand the aspect of having your world championship match be this long epic story match where you're
Hmm.
putting over the champion. Like when Keno was the champion, I don't know if you remember, all the matches when he won, they were really short matches. None of them were long.
Yeah,
These two matches, Gabe Kidd and this one was like really long matches.
yeah.
Sick story, like wicked fucking matches.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I'm giving this so Kiyomiya does retain.
Kiyomiya retains.
Kiyomiya retains.
Kiyomiya retains.
Yoichi put on a great show. He probably might win the group, the B block in the N1, and it's gonna be down to Keno versus Yoichi for the winner of that group, and then we'll
Possible.
probably get a Kiyomiya Yoichi in the
Or
final.
you'll get Marufuji and then he'll put over
Yoichi?
yeah, because Marufuji's in A block, right?
Nope, Marufuji's not in it.
He's not in it.
No.
Is Go Shiozaki in A block?
Yes.
So then I think Go Shiozaki puts over.
Yeah.
And
So you think
that's where you get the formation. Maybe they beat down him and then Team Noah comes out and then his backup comes out as a team that we don't know about yet.
what if his backup is Yohei and Tadasuke?
Because they walk out with him at the end of it. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. I think there's something to that for
And
sure.
Soya.
Yeah, you think so?
Well, because
But
he was there too
oh, that's
at
true.
the
But
end.
if they do Soya though, then they can't do Keno.
No, Keno is going to do his own thing.
Yeah, because Soya that would go back on the Congo situation, right? Because
Yeah.
Soya was in Congo, wasn't he?
So was so was Sugo, and so was
Yeah.
Yeah. But this was fantastic. The show itself was fantastic. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You're going. I already went.
This was an 8-3 for me.
This is an 8-4 for me.
Yeah, this is probably, as of right now, this is my favorite show, tied with Rebellion.
Like not best show, your favorite show?
No, this is my best show, tied with
That's your
Rebellion.
highest rating you've given out?
Yeah, 8-3.
Buddy, what's my I must have given out a 9 or something this year.
Hmm. You did not give it a 9. You gave, where are we? You gave Revolution an 8.3. No, my highest was WrestleMania Night 2, 8-4. You gave that an 8-3. You know what? The hell with it. This was better than WrestleMania Night 2. This is an
See?
8-5.
See?
Highest show of the year. Highest rated show of the year for
What's
me.
my highest rated show of the year?
It's an 8-4, I believe it was. You gave that to, I think you gave Backlash an 8-4. Yeah, you gave we both gave Backlash an 8-4.
You're telling me my highest rated show of the year is that WWE Backlash?
And
This is an 8-5.
you gave Revolution an 8-3 and you gave WrestleMania an 8-3. We'll both go
I have
8-5.
no New Japan shows with a high score.
No, the closest one you gave was Wrestle Kingdom with an 8.
This is an 8-5. It
Yeah,
has
I
to be.
agree. I agree. I'm with you on that. This was one of my favorite shows like this
What did
year.
I give
So
Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door, we didn't score it too high this year. Forbidden Door, 7, 8, and an 8.
What did I give Revolution?
8.3.
Okay, that was a fucking good show.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm good with these scores.
Yeah, well, I'm always settle with you on an 8-5.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this was probably one of the best shows of the year.
Like front to back.
This had
6 hours.
it was 6, it was long. I'll give it that. If this was if this was 5, I would have probably given the show an 8-8 or an 8-9.
If this show was 4 hours, I would have gave it a fucking 9.
9. Like you said, this show, 11, was it 11 or 12? 11 matches, 3 pre-show matches. The 3 pre-show matches were better than some of the matches I've seen on main cards this year.
Yeah.
Like this had great in-ring storytelling, great out-of-ring storytelling, so much going on in the show. Like it was literally nonstop. The
Yeah, it
only
was
thing
good.
I'm taking a little bit of points away is the length. This was way too long.
Yeah, and there was the one match that we both weren't like super crazy about.
Super crazy.
That's funny. What was before the Dogga match?
Was Hayata versus Sasaki. That
Yeah,
was the one I was
that
not.
that
Even
was
though that was still a good match, I just didn't agree with the title change on that one.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I would definitely. This is definitely go if you can
Oh,
go
this
watch
is
this.
like, yeah,
Go watch
literally,
it. If you are a fan, even if you're a fan of AJ Styles, at least do yourself the favor and go watch that match. And trust me, once you watch that match, you're gonna want to watch the rest of the show.
yeah,
I
because
highly recommend this show.
fair.
So if there's nothing else, with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. Tune in next week. Next week, I may do a solo. Campo may be with us. We may have Owen back. We don't know, but we will have the review for TNA's Slammiversary. So tune in next week for that. So with that out of the way, guys, thanks again for joining us. And in the words of Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night.